Okay. Okay, so we're doing. Okay, good. Shut up. I was like, where'd it go? So this is the supporting the immune system with essential oil stuff. We're gonna go over other stuff that supports your immune system. I changed the title on the YouTube link, but not in this, and it's fine. And this is a QR code for anybody that's like rewatching it and they want to go in and join the team at all. We need to just be able to so personal with us. So if you don't know what doTERRA is or don't have much experience with doTERRA, this is a good video explaining who doTERRA is and what they do. Okay. Have you seen?
I have seen doTERRA.
Have you seen?
No.
Do you mind if we play it for those watching live? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. For sure.
I love this video. They just do such a better job at explaining it than I ever could. So, and it gives me chills when I watch it. So I'm like, there's so much good here.
Is that lavender?
Yeah. That is not lavender. It's so weird.
They're going to be synthetic or they're going to be engineered. Our focus was that you can't improve on Mother Nature and you shouldn't try.
We knew that we had to find a better way. We had to ensure the purity, the potency of these essential oils coming from the plant. We had to make sure that we became the stewards of nature, that they became unchanged as nature produces them.
It wasn't something that we just thought about that was clever or what would happen if we did this. We really felt like that this was a path that we needed to follow, we wanted to follow, but that was really needful in the marketplace.
I had always been looking for more of a natural form of healthcare after I had kids because I was shocked at the lack of resources that there were as a parent. Every mom wants everything for their kids. So to have the trust in a product that's not only 100% safe, but 100% effective is priceless.
We are interested in having the purest, most powerful, most potent, highest quality essential oils that you can have. But in the process, we're also very interested in doing good in the world.
I realized these oils have a mission that goes far beyond
That was flow sourcing effort.
It's an amazing vehicle that we have to allow individuals to recognize their value.
So it's a whole lifestyle, a whole mindset. And I'm so grateful that I've started to shift to a healthier lifestyle. And having the essential oils, it's empowering.
Physicians have become more and more aware of the therapeutic potency of these essential oils. As we move toward the future of modern healthcare, we'll begin utilizing them in the clinical setting. That is what it's all about. It's not about personal wealth or personal achievements. There's something we can do here to help, to give back.
No other industry has the ability to connect people together and provide an opportunity for them to help each other. Just this whole community that has come together.
I knew deep in my heart that we could make something new and different with doTERRA, and it would truly be something that I'd be proud of.
I just think the whole planet is being lifted by this company, and it makes it so easy to be passionate because I know that every step of the way, it's lifting someone, it's blessing someone, it's a light to someone.
Some people are asking the question, is the dream already done? And I think about that all the time, and I have to say there has never been another time in the history of doTERRA where the dream has been more alive than it is now.
What really needs to be understood is that our model is really focused on two things. It's focused on getting the best and helping the most.
That's our goal, that's our objective, is to make everyone a better human being. With that, they start to dream again. They go out in the world, they do great things. Pretty soon, the impact is happening with millions of lives.
Okay, I love that video. Gives me chills. And yes, I am a huge fan. So one of the things that was a big drive, I'm trying to pause it, there we go, was a big drive for me was one, science, right? Because my thing was she tried for 8 months to get me to use the LD and the deep blue for my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome to help with the discomfort from public. And I did not listen. And then when I finally did, it works. And I'm a huge science nerd. It was like, let's make sure that it works. And they're big in science. They're all about research, third-party research, university research. They're starting 5-phase research trials on each oil. I'm working with the University of Mississippi, who does the first 3 trials, which is to prove that it's not just therapeutic grade, but pharmaceutical grade.
Okay.
And they started with lavender first. In lavender, they were the only company, I don't know, it was like 60 or 63, to have pharmaceutical grade quality, which is one, you have a certain quality threshold, a high quality threshold of therapeutic grade, so that little acetate, right, the chemical compounds reach that certain amount, and there's a very minimal standard deviation between them. So theirs was less than 2% standard deviation, not 2, but 2%.
Yeah.
Right, and then the pharmaceutical grade, you have to prove that the product can be replicated. So over the last 5 years, and they test every batch of oil has testing done, and they keep that oil for 10 years in the lab.
Oh wow.
So they had test results from the last 5 years of lavender essential oil, and then so this company did that. And they were able to have the same quality within a 1.92% standard deviation for 5 years. They were the only company in a list of like 63, which had some really big competitors in it, to achieve that. And then the next trials after those first 3 are delivery system, and then the final one is a clinical trial. It's like a double-blind trial. Which, if you're not a science nerd, do you know what a clinical trial is?
Where like you gotta make a new product at the time.
So a clinical, no, that's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you. You were young, you're like, I thought that was great. It was great.
Very good.
It's a very good educated guess. A clinical trials is when we're trying a new, so whether it's a supplement or a topical thing, a double-blind clinical trial is when people are going to try the product. So let's say we're taking right, lavender. So someone's going to get a pill with lavender in it. Someone's going to get a pill that they tell them is lavender, but really it isn't lavender. It's called a placebo. And the people don't know which one they're getting. And that's a typical clinical trial. A double-blind trial is when the medical doctors don't know themselves. So a computerized system kind of handles the distribution of things so that the doctors can't bias the results. So then you see the effects of those with lavender and those with a placebo to see what is the drug really doing versus what is our brain telling us, right? Because mind has very powerful effects. So that's like the future of super science doTERRA. And then the second part that I really liked was the service, right? They have a huge humanitarian effort, saw it in the video. Right, I'd done service trips to the Dominican, and the fact that they were focused on not screwing people over. That which had been done for a really long time in the industry by middleman companies, right? So they could buy a bunch of farms. It's cheaper, it's more efficient, but they don't do that. Instead of buying farms, they work directly with farmers and help them. They'll provide the distilling process for farmers. They give quality bonuses to farmers. There's loan programs so people can get housing. There are people in Africa that don't own their own land, and they work with them to get their own land. And a lot of, especially third world countries, women are employed, which helps protect them from the threat of being trafficked. Right? There are women in Africa that had to sell themselves to pay for their children and themselves, and now they pick pink pepper. And they're able to provide for their family and actually be paid fairly for it. And then they do a huge health effort. Right. So the video where I was like, they're putting clove on your gums. So they do these humanitarian efforts, including healthcare, and they've recently made a healthcare clinic, and it's the first one to actually survive because there have been many attempts in their sourcing effort. And one of the sourcing efforts for frankincense in Africa. So it's super cool.
That's awesome.
And this is a share story. It's normally like we go around the room and it would be like what is your experience with oil and how has it helped you?
Yeah.
If you want to share publicly, you can. If you're like,
I'm good right now.
Okay. Most people already know my story. Deep blue, LLV, saved my life, not in the ER anymore. It's great.
That's awesome. That's very awesome.
So this class is about the immune system. I had to talk so much the last few days. We're not used to it. Right, so this class is about the immune system. The immune system's super cool. So the immune system is what protects us from seasonal and environmental threats. If you want to get nerdy on it, it's pathogens, viruses, germs, right? Something bad enters our body, our immune system is going to tell it you need to get out. Our lymphatic system is also really important too. That's the stuff that drains the gunk from your body. Yes.
They're actually little humans who defeat like germs and viruses in us.
No, that would be super cool. That's how you can imagine it. So what's happening is technically they're not little humans, they're little cells. So you have immune cells called T cells and B cells, and they have your DNA in them. So if you think about it, they're an extension of your cell. So they're not, you can think of them as they're your little immune cells. So if you want to think of them as a white cell with an armor and a shield, you can do that. Because that actually makes it way better for me to get an analogy on guard later. Right? So our immune system is help protecting us from that. Our lymphatic system is responsible for draining the waste from our body. So both are really important. And there are a lot of things that can affect our immune system, right? We have where our nutrition, our gut health, stress, toxins, sleep, and sugar are really big things that affect our immune system. And I will explain why. Because somebody will be like, great, but I don't know why. I'm a why person, right? Like, if you understand why it helps you or it's a negative effect, I think, one, I like that. I like to understand why. And I think it gives you more motivation to do something or to do that benefit. Because you really understand, like, why is it? Right? Like, if your mom said, I want you to wash your hair, you'd be like, well, why? That would be my response. It'd be like, because your hair's going to get gross and greasy and it'll smell and it'll get dreads, right?
Dry skin.
When you understand why, right? So nutrition, when it comes to our immune system, nutrition and our gut health is the foundation for everything. Not just our immune system, but every other health issue. Here's a really good quote, and I don't know who came up with it, but right, it's just there. Nobody knows who came up with it. But it's you either feed disease or you feed to fight it. And that's really true when it comes to nutrition. And just like with our cells, your cells and nutrition is what you're feeding your cells. What are you putting in your body for your cells to use to build themselves up and keep themselves healthy? So if you feed your cells battery acid, they're probably not going to work very well. But if you feed your cells awesome good stuff, they're going to do well. It's just like a car. If you put gas in your car, it's going to run. If you put battery acid in your car, you're going to corrode your engine and you're not going to get anywhere.
Yes.
Right?
And if you put grape juice in the car,
it's not going to go anywhere. That is a good one. I like that. It's also more colorful than battery acid.
It definitely is.
It's not as dangerous too.
That's true. That's very true.
It has all the things.
Yeah, it's not
If it's not gas, it's not going to go. Right? So we need to make sure that's cool, right? And also our nutrition is going to affect our gut health as well. And our gut, 70% of our immune system is actually controlled by our digestive system, by our gut health. So it's really important to make sure that we have proper probiotics and nutrition, because if your gut's not working, that's 75% of your immune system that just tanks, as well as 95% of your serotonin levels. And then stress. So fun fact, prolonged stress, cortisol, is a stress hormone. So when you're stressed, your body produces things, right, called hormones or neurotransmitters, right? One of them is cortisol, and it shuts down your gut. So stress, not only is stress affecting everything, right? Prolonged stress will slowly weaken our bodies, but one of the big reasons why it does that is because it will slowly shut down your gut and prohibit your gut flora, like the good gut bacteria, from being healthy and your gut from flourishing, which then will tank your immune system.
I know what some toxins are.
Yeah? What are some toxins?
Drinking gas.
Yes.
Drinking oil and medicine, like drugs,
Yeah,
that you're supposed to put somewhere not in your mouth.
yeah, like it. She's all correct.
Good job.
All of them are correct.
Yes.
Yes, we have toxins everywhere. So your toxic threshold, like your body has an ability to process toxins, but only to a certain point. It's like your toxic threshold. And I like to think that like your washing machine, right? Everybody has a washing machine, I think. Most people. Most people have a washing machine or they go to a laundry. Okay, most people in a developed country have a washing machine or go to a laundromat. And then if you're in a third world country, you're washing in the river or bucket in there.
Like
But
in
the thing,
Africa.
yes. And the thing is, your washing machine, right? It has a certain amount of clothes that you can put in to do a load. Just like your body can take a certain amount of toxins and filter it out. But if you don't listen to it and you keep shoving clothes in, you keep shoving toxins in, right? If we were to take all of the clothes and blankets and towels in this house and shove it in the washing machine, it wouldn't fit. The door would be open, the clothes would be all over the floor, and you wouldn't be able to do anything in your life without stepping on clothes and falling over them.
I don't think this rug will fit.
It would not
No.
fit. We've tried. It's ruggable. It's supposed to be washed. Our washing machine just won't fit. So that's how your body works, right? If you jam pack that filtering system, it's not going to work anymore. You're going to flood the system, and all those little toxins will negatively affect your cells. It's going to stress your cells. It's going to damage your DNA, your energy system, right? And they're a huge issue for your gut health. Everything's going to come back to gut health with this,
I
right?
know some sleep issues.
Yes.
A lot of people have sleep issues.
Yes. And we have oils for that.
Sleep
I
issues are like,
We should bring kids involved.
I know, right?
sleep issues are like, say that your dog keeps barking in the house and you throw him out of the house. I'm giving an example of somebody.
Okay.
And then you're like, well, I gotta stop doing that. And then the dog, secretly, like this little dog with a lot of hair, who keeps coming up to me, she finds a secret passage. She goes, I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
So what's happening with your sleep and all this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
And then the dog just gets in the house, right next to your ear, and goes, woof!
You don't sleep, right?
Yes.
That's right.
And you
Sleeping
only,
is bad.
and
Wait,
some
circle it back.
people,
Circle it
some
back.
people only get a minute of sleep,
That's not cool.
and you should really knock them out.
Yes.
That's the best way to do it. Knock them out.
Good job. Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish.
And some people get an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. If you get less than 5 hours every year, you're gonna die.
You could.
Like, you're gonna die.
You could.
Yes.
If you get around 8 hours of sleep, you're good.
Yeah.
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 Like, say this dog, it's nice and calm. It gets 10 hours of sleep.
Just went
But then you see this dog, and he only gets 2 hours of sleep.
Actually, he's sleeping. She's the one that only gets like 2 hours of sleep.
Mona actually sleeps.
So different.
Yep.
All right, come sit down.
Okay.
Let's listen.
Hold on, I'm turning it back.
She's like, I have a point, but I don't know what it is.
They're 6 hours different. So, this dog is getting 6 hours less than this dog is. So, in conclusion, this dog will not have a better life than this dog.
That's true.
That is true.
Like a human.
That's true.
That's
That's good.
If my dad gets 1 hour of sleep and my mom gets 6 hours of sleep, they're different.
Your dad always gets more than 1 hour.
I know, Mom.
She's like, I'm just making a point.
I'm making a point.
As she said,
You
so I'm
need
just gonna
to
wrap
sleep.
it up. Like she said, you need to sleep.
Yes.
If you don't, it'll drain your immune system.
And you'll die.
Right? And to finish the point of toxins, we need a detox, and we can do that in personal care products, cleaning products, and our air, because there's a lot of toxins. The average woman absorbs 5 pounds of toxins from their personal care products a year. So there's a lot of stuff, and even some of the big name brands that say they went natural, A lot of times what's natural in it isn't, or they'll put fragrances, or it'll say there's an essential oil, but it's not sourced properly, and it's a synthetic or it's adulterated. Because there have been times where you email companies, cleaning companies, personal care product companies, and they're like, we don't know where we get our oils from. Or they'll say we use this company, and the company is a middleman company that can't tell you where they actually get their oils from. You're like, but I can go to this website and I know where they're from. I can look up on the bottom of my bottle, there's a batch number. I can go to sourcesheet.com and look at the third-party testing results.
Yeah, like when my mom says, oh, I got this, but I don't know how much it is. My computer is hooked up to an ant's phone thingy-majiggy.
The internet.
I can literally go on to oldnavy.com and look at it.
And you know what price it is.
That's too much.
Okay.
It's $37 for a t-shirt.
That is a lot.
I've never spent $37 on a
She's like, kid, you're so good.
Yeah.
Right, and the
Come on.
last one is
I know sugar.
Yes, it's
My
very
brother
bad.
has too much.
You have too much.
Hey, I got energy.
Sit down.
That's
Okay, sugar. My mom doesn't even let me have dessert every day. That is a true fact. Another thing about sugar. You're not supposed to have more than 4 pieces a day.
Well, you're not supposed to have, you're supposed to limit sugar as much as you can, because sugar will
It's bad.
Yes, it'll stress your immune system, and it'll cause inflammation in the body. It can cause damage of the gut, of our gut health, all of those things.
And a lot of sour candies,
It has a lot of sugar.
they can give you toxins.
That's actually true, because there's flavoring.
See, I'm
Coloring.
smart.
She's like, I know what it is, and your
I
nose is
can
getting
do
ready
what
to
she
kill
said,
you.
even I can interrupt.
Your
And
nose.
Right.
Okay. So we can boost our immune systems naturally, and we're going to go more in depth into the key things of this. So when we're boosting our immune system naturally, what we're going to do is we're going to trash out the toxins. We're going to switch to things like oils, right? No more Glad plugins, no more candles. Those are so bad for you. They're like, just because something smells good doesn't mean it's good for you,
Yeah, Mom.
right? So
Yeah.
the Glad plugins.
When that pumpkin spice candle smells really nice and you buy it, then Daddy's like,
You're like,
No
hey, why
more
did you tell me
candles.
that you can interrupt?
I know.
no
Oh,
more
Mom,
candles.
you don't have
I
kids.
feel like
You might-
you're roasting me for.
I am roasting you.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be
You know,
good.
I really like the mom.
Yeah.
So we can support our sleep by using essential oils as well as diet. We have a whole class on sleep. We have a whole class on all of these individual
Or you can
things.
just knock them out.
It's great. Yeah, but that there's whole legal issues with that. There's a whole thing.
As long as you're not doing it every day.
Roofing people. So we like to use their Serenity soft gels and the Serenity essential oil that we can diffuse or put topically on our bodies. Whenever we're using those topically, the nice places are like back of your neck, your chest, your pulse points in the bottom of your feet. A really cool one is actually your belly button.
What?
It works. Sometimes people like oils along their spine, especially if it relates to the nervous system. And then like what we want to do, nutrition, we want to eat well, right? So we want to eat clean, and what that means is eat minimally processed foods
Can
that
we eat
occur
turkey?
naturally. Actually, people that have low anemia when they're children will typically eat dirt because they crave the iron. You
I
should
hate
eat dirt. It's not going to be fulfilling to you, but you can eat things that come out of the dirt.
Can I eat mulch?
That would be really bad. No, that is not smart.
You should-
Mulch is like a mixture of like poop
Yeah, you should not.
and dirt
Can I eat sand?
and sawdust.
You should
You're
not.
not going to eat, we're only going to eat food.
Well, I've
Food, like
eaten sand.
vegetables.
And I've chewed on mulch.
But when you were younger.
Yeah, you don't do that now.
Yeah, I did that I did it a few days ago.
Okay, well, let's not.
She's like, well, let's talk about that.
Hey, I have
There's
points.
no judgment here.
I have points about exercise, and my mom exercises too much.
There's not really too much unless you're damaging your body. So then you want to exercise for a good like 20 Actually, 30 minutes a day is recommended to get every day. It's going to help, even if it's just walking. Some of us like to be in shape and do a lot of exercise, like your mom and I.
Yeah.
We're big exercise people. And oils that can help you with your muscular fatigue, pain, discomfort, or like the deep blue stick with copaiba. That one I can say pain for. They got the FDA clearance for that. Helps with pain, arthritis, all the things. I like it. And then we have like the deep blue rub and the deep blue oil for the other discomfort. And then supplements and probiotics. So it's really important that we're using proper multivitamins. The things you get in the grocery store are not great. They really have low.
What about CVS?
They have low. Not good. They have low bioavailability. So we really want to make sure that our minerals, that our multivitamins have chelated minerals, which have a 90 to 80% absorption rate, versus non-chelated minerals. So like the magnesium oxide that's in most of the multivitamins is a 4% absorption. It's really bad. It's really crappy. You're putting your money down, okay? And then like the doTERRA vitamins have an enzyme complex to increase absorption, a whole food complex, because when you pair supplements with real food, it increases your absorption. Their vitamins are a glycoprotein complex. And they have a tummy tamer blend, because taking a lot of nutrients can be a lot on the body. And you have 4 pills each, so that you take 2 in the morning, 2 at lunch, because your body can only absorb so much at one time. So if you take this one big pill, you're only really absorbing about half of it, because you have a limit. And the thing too is some brands are getting smart and they're coming out and saying, oh, we have chelated magnesium. And then you look at the back of the bottle and it's 2 milligrams of chelated magnesium. You need a lot more than that. And then like 80 milligrams of magnesium oxide, right? So it's really important that you look at, does the chelated amount, is it actually what you need, or is it lower than what you need if you do buy another supplement?
Yeah.
The one I'm talking about here.
Right.
And then probiotics. And this isn't just one, every probiotic should be double encapsulated, otherwise it doesn't get to your small intestine. Very important. But you can also take, if you don't have the budget for those, this is a $22 when you add it on. There's added on discounts, right? You can go from 35 to 22, it's great. But if you don't have the budget for that, the great thing is you can always take kefir. And kefir is a live probiotic drink. And they have the plain kefir, which it doesn't taste great, so you want to down it or put it in a smoothie. But it's a live probiotic drink. It is not the same as yogurt. It is way better than that. It's a live culture drink, and it has, I think it's like 12 million, either 9 or 12. Like of the billion, like 9 or 12 billion of the live probiotics. And they now came out with an oat version, but the milk version is 99% lactose free. So that's awesome. And then we want to get outside, get fresh air, don't have a bug spray if you want, limit our sugar, hydrate, and when we're hydrating, we want to make sure that we're supporting our detoxification system as well as getting enough electrolytes. Everybody stresses water, water, water. But nobody talks about how if you actually have too much water and not enough electrolytes in it, you'll actually
It makes you pee a lot.
that, and then also actually dehydrate yourself because you won't have enough sodium to hold on to the water. And then managing our stress, we have adapted. So that's our thing. So if we're gonna go, now we're just gonna go in depth into the nitty gritty things that you need. Kind of explain this. So I did a good job. Now this is a great picture.
did
And
great.
like
Yeah.
this.
Fantastic.
Here you go. It's awesome. This would normally cost, if you try to get everything independent, it's a $200 to $300 cost. We did it. There's an Excel spreadsheet. But this is $79.50 from doTERRA.
Okay.
As a kit. If you buy them individually, they're more. Like the Alpha TRX by itself is like $63.50. It's the most expensive one because it has the most expensive stuff in it.
Right.
This is the super antioxidants, right? And this is the anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, super cellular
Right.
juice food complex.
Wow.
Just really good for athletes.
Are those in different languages?
No, it's just their name. So like XE omega, that's the omega complex. VMZ is your microplex complex, and then the alpha CRS is cellular. It's just their names.
Oh.
And there's a reason for their names. And then the PB assist, which, like I said, you can add on for a cheaper amount. And this is a QR code to go see those. I like to put in QR codes to make it easy. So if anybody's videoing or if they're like, I wanted that, I'm not understanding, but I want that, I'm going to go back and get it. So when it comes to essential oils, right? Because if you had to pick 3 things to do, supplement better, probiotics, and essential oils, specifically on guard. So we're using essential oils to boost our immune system. We could use them in 3 ways. The screen is above me. Right, so the most
You
powerful
like the roller balls.
and potent way,
You like the roller balls.
I love roller balls.
That's what I like when you roll.
It's really roller. Yeah.
And I got a question.
You got a question? Okay, question.
So for like the health,
The health.
say that you like get dirt in your nails. Are you allowed to eat that?
I would not eat that. I mean, technically.
Do you not get fed?
I do, but I get hungry.
We have a lot of food on.
Yeah, I don't think your mom starves you.
That's
And I got another question. Okay. So I'm wearing koala socks right now. I don't know if anyone.
I don't know.
We're done with your question.
Okay. No, I have a good question.
Okay.
Is it about what's on the screen? Is it about your immune system?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay. So say that this lady, I don't know her name. Let's go with mom now. I don't know. Say that she bites her nails, and she bites her toenails,
Okay, that's gross.
and she has a really bad habit,
I'm okay with like fingernails, but toenails is so much fun.
and she gets this weird headache, and then this actually made up this part. A nail starts poking through her head.
That would happen.
Okay, we're gonna stop your question.
Wait, I got it. Like, what if you eat too much weird nails?
You can get sick, but what you can do is if you eat dirt under your fingernails, this actually happened to me when I was a kid. So we're gonna get. This might be TMI. If you don't like it, then fast forward. You rewatch this, fast forward. But when you eat, so your fingernails too much of them can make you sick. The more concerning is what's under your fingernails. So there's a lot of stuff that can be in dirt, especially if you live on the farm. Dirt does help boost your immune system, right? Like the more we're around different environments, the more we're outside, we do get a boost. But you also have to remember, like, we're on a ranch, and even if you're not on a ranch, there are things like worms and there are eggs. So what can happen is you can have dirt in your fingernails or stuff in your fingernails, and in them are little eggs for worms. And those worms will go in your digestive system, the little eggs, and then worms will come out. And then you will feel like your butt is super itchy, and you will have to take the anti-parasites or essential oils that are anti-parasitic, and you will have worms that are actually crawling out of your butt. It happened. It happened.
So maybe you should not eat.
Because I used to bite my nails all the time.
Okay.
So it is possible. They actually made a Futurama episode about it. That is not a kid-friendly television show, but
Yeah, it's
they
rated
made fun of
also.
they made fun of it, but it's a true thing that can happen. So
And
we're
I
gonna,
got a question.
No more questions.
I'm gonna wait till the other slide. Other slide.
We can
Okay.
next.
So we can use oils internally, topically, and aromatically. Internally is the most powerful and potent way to use essential oils. And when we're doing our immune system, it's really always good to do the internally. Like if you had to pick one way, I would pick the internal one. Right, and so we can either get the pre-made On Guard Plus soft gels, which is the On Guard blend, with the addition of oregano, black pepper, and melissa, other immune system powerhouse oils. Or you can make your own capsule. The one thing is when you're making your own veggie capsule, you want to make sure that you put a carrier oil in it. So, right, if you put your oils in it, the space that's left, you fill the rest of it with the carrier oil. This can be olive oil, omega-3s, like I get the kids omega-3 and I use that as my carrier oil. Flaxseed oil is really great if you struggle with inflammation because it has a higher omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. So it's got 4 times the omega-3s to omega-6s because omega-3s are always anti-inflammatory. Omega-6s at some point, they reach a threshold and they'll cause it. So we like omega-3s, we like flaxseed oil or chia seed oil, and I like those internally. But if you don't have it, you can always go with olive oil. You know?
Yep.
It's just whatever. And then topically, right, we can use roller balls, we can use lotions, we can use, I put some else, baths, Epsom salt soaks,
Right.
those kinds of things. We made bath bombs. Sort of fun.
Yeah.
And so when you're making a roller ball, a really good one, like number to stick with for adults, is 30 drops of oil for a 10 ml roller ball. That's a really good safety one. We do have on our team a safety, like we have a dilution chart. So for kids, for babies, it's 0.5 to 2%. For kids and elderly, it's 3 to 5%. And then adults, it's like 5 to 30. Like you can take a lot. We also have a dilution chart for pets because we use oils in our pets. And we do a pet class.
Wow,
We're so cool.
That is very
So
cool.
what that chart does, it tells you the percentage, and then it tells you the drops per whatever.
Cool.
Like if it's a 10 ml or a 1 ounce bottle or 2 ounce bottle, so you don't have to go to Google and be like, so there's 250 drops and 15 ml. You don't have to do that. And then whenever we're doing this, like you said it first before we even started the class, was always dilute hot oils.
Right.
When you're using them on kids, always make sure to dilute it further. So maybe start with that 3% instead of the 5%, right? So instead of the, right, we got 3, 4, 5, so we start with the 3. And it depends on the age. I think once kids get to about 12, they start, if you go over 5, their skin is resilient enough. Right, and you're always going to test it. And then when we're using anything topically, where you use it might be dependent on what you're targeting, right? If you have a certain health problem, but then in general, when we're talking about our immune system, the bottoms of the feet, the back of our neck, along our spine are all really good places to put the essential oils on. And on guard, and a lot of the immune oils are hot or warm oils, so we typically don't put them on the chest or the throat. It's more back of the neck, the spine, and the bottoms of the feet. And then, I like the belly. It works. It works.
That's so crazy. I'm gonna have to try it.
It works. I know. I love it. And back rubs are great. There's a really good Symphony of the Cells protocol that I've done on other people. And we've done it on each other. The Symphony of the Cells is a great book. But it's a protocol where you do like a layering of the back, and there's different like a layered sequences of oils depending on what your need is. And they have a really good immune one. It's like on guard and frankincense.
Wow.
You just go through all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're full of fun. And then aromatically. So it's a great way to, one, purify our air. We're diffusing on guard right now. Right, because part of why I did this before Thanksgiving was because before you have all the family germs and things, right? So one, topically internally take your stuff, and then diffusing on guard. And 3 drops of on guard and 1 drop of Cocoa is a great place to start. And then if you want the holidays, you can do your on guard looking at a fur oil, like Siberian fir or Douglas fir, and have that Christmas smell.
Yeah.
That's great. And then if you have the individual oils in on guard, then keeps gonna get okay. He turned it down to get water. If you have the individual oils on guard, you can specifically do the cinnamon and Douglas fir or clove and Douglas, right? Have that Christmas one. So one, your house will smell way better than the Glade Christmas candle, but it'll also be cleaning your air and boosting your immune system because oils that are in the air eventually do get to your brain in like an hour. So, why isn't it? Well, my mouse fails. So, our immune supporting essential oil powerhouse, these are main ones. There's a lot, just like there's going to be a slide after this that lists the other ones, but our really big powerhouse is obviously On Guard. On Guard is awesome. We love it. We're going to go more in depth in it in 2 slides from now. And then oregano, melaleuca, or now they call it tea tree because of the new market they opened up in. And then frankincense. Frankincense is good for everything.
Yeah.
Melissa and black pepper. And Melissa is really good with difficult to handle viruses.
Oh, okay.
Especially, we can talk about. There are some viruses we don't talk about. So we have those powerhouses, and then these are some other essential oils if you want to come back to the slide. So if you are running low and you want to figure out what else you could use in your arsenal, right? If you run out of On Guard, you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Right? At least this has an ability. And some of these are going to have different benefits. Like rose, actually I think should switch to a powerhouse. Rose is a super powerful essential oil. They now have it available, not just a touch, but the individual bottle. And it's thought to be the queen of oils. So there are people that got, what is the bacteria? It's like, oh, I had bacterial infection. That's like really hard to get rid of, and they normally like you have to do bleach baths for.
Yeah.
So there are some people whose kids got that, and one of them was actually one of the doTERRA founders.
Really?
And they did Rose Touch and Melaleuca Touch every day, 3 to 4 times a day, and it went away.
Really?
So it's super awesome. We love Rose. Thyme is really good if you're dealing with anything in your gut. It's a really good like gut flushing oil. And then copaiba is really good for the nervous system as well as the immune system. And then the rest of these, you notice we're in like the cinnamons. Like we're in the herbs.
Right.
We're in the herbs and spice realms a lot of the time when it comes to immunity, and then some citruses. So-
Is juniperberry a berry that I can pick off the tree?
I believe it is.
Yeah, it's a berry.
Yes.
And
But
what?
it's not like a strawberry.
It's a cleansing. So it's a really good renal support oil. Yeah, and it's really good for detoxification.
And say that I'm like using those like little like bottles.
The roller ball?
Roller ball.
We love roller balls.
Those. What happens if I'm rolling it? What happens if I'm rolling it by my belly button and it breaks?
Then
and
it gets everywhere.
Stuck in my belly.
Your roller ball it's not possible to get stuck in your belly button.
But it's not impossible.
Well, like the size of your belly button is way smaller
The roller ball is bigger.
than the opening. Like you can't physically fit it in there to get it stuck.
But what if I buy the smallest one?
It still is.
They don't have mini roller balls because
What if I make one?
they're-
Why don't you just not do
you just not do that. She's a lawyer. So we have the On Guard. So the On Guard is the immune system powerhouse. It's super awesome. And because it is so amazing, there's a whole line created with it. So we have not only non-toxic laundry detergent, which is awesome. You only need 1 tablespoon for a load. It's pretty incredible. There's a photo on our Facebook group, pre-dog money mat, like from the ditch, covered, just like you couldn't even tell it was a towel anymore, and then it's pristine white. All we
Really?
did was that.
Wow.
So we have a whole line of not just the On Guard soft gels and the On Guard oil, but we have roller balls, we have the hand sanitizer, we now have wipes. They're awesome.
Wow.
We have the On Guard tablets that came out this convention, which have zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, and magnesium in them. And
So
we
like
have
a tablet you put in your mouth?
and then we
Okay.
supplement. We have.
Okay.
You wanna
Is
try
it
one?
like the emergency tablets, like those, like?
It's equivalent to a zinc lozenge,
Okay. Yeah.
except it has no guard in it, so it's way better.
Okay. That makes sense.
There's actually they did research on it, which I will talk about, but they haven't made it. It was displayed at convention, but they can't make it public yet because they're still doing like the review. Right?
Okay.
There's a peer review, and then they can make it a public publishing.
Okay.
So the On Guard tablet study, they did a blood test where you take blood before the tablet, look at the white blood cell count, very detailed. So each individual type of immune cell. Hi, Rowan. You doing okay? You're okay. And then they took the On Guard tablet, right? It's just one where you suck on it, it slowly dissolves in your mouth.
Right.
And then at 3-hour marks, they drew blood. And what we saw was that the white blood cells increased, but not increased to like, oh my God, you're dying of sepsis, we need to attack the body. But it increased when there was a good increase to show that the immune system was on guard. That's where it got its name from,
That makes
right? So we see a boost in the immune system to have better protection against external threats, not like, oh my God, we're dying.
Right.
It's not overactive, but it gives us a boost. We're boosting our immune system. We're supporting it. It's becoming more efficient. Furthermore, I'm going to go to my next slide. Yes. So, and then which then led to the toothpaste and the mouthwash because, like I said before the class started, a lot of the things and On Guard, the clove, the cinnamon, the wild orange are beneficial for oral health and gum health. And they're really good for things like the gingivitis and those kinds of things. And now we can clean while also supporting our immune system, which is great. And it's not toxic. And so the reason why there's in here a really good link to studies on Guard. So there's a really good research on how On Guard attenuates the influenza virus, meaning it kills it off. So not only does On Guard help boost our immune system, it helps protect us from those environmental threats, the things that make us feel like that. Right? And and it also has research showing that it's really helpful with the inflammation response in the body. It has antioxidant properties. Clove is a super powerful antioxidant. So the actual blend, and normally this is where I'd be like, who can tell me what's in the blend? And then you get like a free anti-inflammatory spread. So I'm guessing you know what's in the blend.
Clove.
Yes.
What do you think?
Lavender.
Lavender?
No. Juniper.
No.
Rose.
No. You get 5 tries because you get 5 things.
Oh.
Well, like, yeah. Well, your mom said that. I'm gonna tell you what's in the blend. I'll give you one anyway because that's not gonna Okay. So what's in the blend? So we have wild orange.
We like orange.
We love orange. Wild orange. Would actually, when you pair it with like vetiver or raisins, can actually get beneficial for sleep. It's kind of cool. It can either perk you up or bring you down depending on what you pair it with.
That's really interesting.
I love your energy. I was like, I want Jenny to come. I like your energy so much. So we have wild orange, clove, cinnamon, right? And on the thing, it looks like cinnamon bark and cinnamon leaf, eucalyptus and rosemary. And some people who are like know a lot of essential oils are like, oh my god, why do you have eucalyptus in there? It's not good for you. That's wrong.
Really?
Eucalyptus you can use internally at lower amounts.
Okay.
Right? So it's not like where you're gonna put 3 drops in a veggie capsule and take it. We don't want to do that.
Okay.
But small amounts of eucalyptus are shown to have really good beneficial effects on 1, histamine reaction, and 2, the immune system. So this is specially formulated to help your immune system, and you never reach the level of we now have too much eucalyptus, right?
Right.
Because with anything, if you take too much of anything, right? Exactly.
Yep.
Right, which is why when we take oils internally, normally you don't want to go over 6 drops of any oil within 12 hours. That's kind of the rule of thumb, safety-wise. Which is not, like, there's a lot of, like, you know, we call them the Baxter oils, like the Walmart oils, and no one has the safety information. It's very hard to find safety information. Some companies have caught on the train, but it's very specific things like that need to be discussed. Like, hey, right, it's very hard to reach that threshold.
Right.
So, and normally you always give the advice of under what the threshold is. Because we all have those moments, right? So, if you ever got really sick with something, and you had a really big problem with a bacterial problem, that's when we go to the On Guard 3 or 4 times a day.
Okay.
Right? So, this like 6 drops, go over 6 drops in 12 hours is a good thing to keep in mind, but there are some times where there's changes to the rule.
Right.
They're putting out a lower number. It's just like an engineer.
Totally makes sense. Yeah.
When I was as an engineer, it's like we calculated what the maximum load was, and then you had to divide it in half.
Sure.
Or a
Makes
third.
sense.
Whatever the safety factor was in your industry, you had to divide it. So it's really cool for wholesale customers only. There's the immunity check. The immunity wellness track, they recently came out with this 2 years ago. So if your focus is solely on the immune system, right, and having your family healthy with your immune system, this is like a really nice track that goes through different essential oils for your immune system, and you can add on free products at a discounted price. So you can add on Copaiba, On Guard soft gels, the On Guard oil at 20% off to each of these kits. It does remember what kit you're on though, and you have to follow the track. So you can start with one month and then cancel it,
Okay.
or you can do each month And then, but it is a really nice starting place if your main focus is having immunity.
Okay.
Otherwise, otherwise they have a specific LRP immunity kit. There's a lot of like the enrollment kits. If you're like Natural Solutions is a good one that has the multivitamin and the PB assist. They're bringing it in that. I'm not getting it. But they have specific kits if your sole focus is on the immune system. That's in this class, which is why we're talking about. So, and then for kids, so those that are not on our team or they're not a wholesale person with Diptera and they want to join and they're like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I want to go in on a kit, not just a single item and pay the fee.
Right.
I mean, you could do that. Because I've had people do that where they're like, no, this is what works for me and it's still cheaper with the $35 fee, let's do it. But if you know that you love them, you want to get into them, kits are also already discounted, right? Like you save $80 to $100
Right, like buying more.
right?
Right.
Because they're together.
Yeah.
So right now, in the month of November, you can get the convention kit that came out this year, which is they came out with the new abode line. It was last week's class, was going over what came out of the convention. So this is a new cleaning line that is sexy. There's glass bottles, so it's sexy, sustainable, and natural with the powers of essential oils. So it uses a concentrate and a refill system. So there's these pretty glass bottles, they're on our countertop, and that are glass, and then we use refills or concentrates that are in aluminum or glass bottles so that it's more recyclable.
Sure.
And now we're not using any plastic. And then when we have the dishwasher pods and the laundry pods in plastic, it's post-consumer recycled plastic. At some point, I think they're switching to like a aluminum tin.
Oh.
But it also, one of the reasons why they did that over tin is because it packs down better. So there's less driving, right? So there's
Right.
decreased fuel emissions
Right. Yeah.
for transportation when you're using a concentrate in a system like this. So that was really cool. And then we had the depot stick, which came out, which, well, that's like, when you're talking about your knees, that's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that would go on your knees 3 times a day. and
So
you
that's
would
like
love
the all
You would
natural
love
biofreeze there.
Yeah, but it's way better.
Okay.
It's way better. When I was first, even before I was diagnosed, they tried to use that, and I was like, this is not doing anything right.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, is this supposed to do something? It just feels cold. I'm not getting any relief from it. So this is awesome. And then they did Copaiba in a touch form. I mean, I wasn't super excited about that because I'm like, I just make the roller ball, but now I can get it. And then just refill that one with the pretty label.
The sexy one.
The vanilla Madagascar is awesome. Everything smells.
You would like the vanilla.
Because 85% of the vanilla out there is synthetically produced from petrochemicals.
Really?
And it's synthetic vanillin. That's the chemical component that's mainly found in vanilla extract. So vanillin, and it's spelled like it sounds, is synthetically produced from petrochemicals, and that's 85%. Because the plant has to be hand pollinated and only blooms once
Wow.
in a year. And
Wow.
you have to do it. You have to like harvest it that same day.
Right.
So it's really hard to get, and Doterra is awesome and has been working with sourcing partners in Madagascar
Wow.
for a long time because it's been in some of their blends, and now they're able to bring it as a 5 ml oil.
Wow. That's amazing.
We
Yeah.
put it in everything, and before you go to bed, like if I put this in tea or warm milk, and it knocks me out.
Wow.
It's super interesting. It's got a really diverse chemistry.
Sleep.
Its chemistry is really cool because it's full of like diketones. It's similar to helichrysum. So it's like its chemistry is really rare.
Yeah,
Right.
that's very
I
cool.
love it. And then
Very
they came
cool.
out with like the carrier oils, the tablets, Tulsi, which is a really good antihistamine. So that was cool. And then for this month of November, it's awesome. This month of November, we have 4 of the enrollment kits are 20% off, which is super cool. And so for those that are just looking for the oils, so the Home Essentials kit, actually we went in order from like highest to lowest. So the Natural Solutions is the person that's like super excited to do not just the oils, but like the supplements, like the whole lifestyle, and do the beginning of detoxing. So this is where you want to come like make oils and natural non-toxic living a part of your daily, like your main, like more than just there's a daily habits kit, but really it's your daily habits, right? We have the toothpaste, the hand soap, a diffuser, the top 15 oils, and then the Breathe, the Correct-X. Correct-X is the natural version of like bacitracin.
Okay.
Breathe Stick is the natural version, non-toxic version, Vicks is toxic, of like a Vicks.
Okay.
Right? The Deep Blue Rub, the shampoo, the conditioner, right? So this is somewhere where I'm like, I want my daily life
Right.
to be non-toxic, I want to feel better, I want the oils, I want the pretty case, I want to diffuse.
Right.
This is I'm ready. I'm like, I want this lifestyle.
Right. You want to change everything. Over.
Right. And then the Cure collection, I liked this. This is like the issues that
That
helped
is
with.
really, yeah.
Right, and like I said, I like to do QR codes and
Yeah,
things
that's
easy.
awesome. Is there a link for this PowerPoint?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So I'll text you. I'll text you the YouTube.
Perfect.
So yeah, because I did it so that you can just go back and
Yeah,
like
that's
be like
perfect.
pause. QR
Yeah.
code, phone, we're done. Because these are all linked to have the wholesale price.
Okay.
Because just like I said, when you enroll with a kit, when you become a wholesale customer with a kit, there's no fee,
Okay.
right? So, which is better because then if you do decide to get more, it's 25% off.
Right.
Right. So, however, you can change it. So if you use one of these links, this link is going to take you to being a wholesale person with this kit.
Okay.
However, you can change the cart when you get there.
Okay.
Right, so if you're like, if you want one of these kits, great, go for it, get it. If you don't, you can still use that code to get to a cart.
Okay. That
With
makes
us,
sense. Yeah.
because then if you get anything from us, then you're like, honestly, you get all the perks, you get the free prizes, you get the enrollment kit, which is like a reference book, which is awesome, right? Because if you ever don't know what to use oil-wise, you either ask in the Facebook group that we have,
Yeah.
text me, or like you go to doTERRA Solutions or a reference book. So we're taking from being a mom, being super stressed out, not knowing what to do with your kids. So you're in the doctor's office 80% of the time, at home 20% of the time, we're flipping that.
Right.
We're going from 80% of the time you're handling things on your own. You're empowered, you're learning in classes, you have a book, you have the doTERRA website. You're like, I know how to take care of my baby. And I'm not going to be a partner with my doctor.
Right.
I'm not this like, I have no idea what I'm doing. You're a partner now.
Right.
And you have that confidence to be like, it's my baby, I got it, we're good.
Right.
There's an oil for that. Best thing ever. It's awesome. And if you ever don't know, like I just did, I had a session with one girl, it was 2 hours, normally not that long, but we were doing 3 different plans. Because we had 3 people in her house that I made a wellness plan for.
Oh, geez.
So I make the custom wellness plans and like whatever your needs are.
Okay.
So if you don't know what you want to get today,
Right.
I will sit with you and we'll be like, okay, what are your goals?
Right.
And we'll make a plan
Okay.
together.
Okay.
That works because it's about you.
Right.
It's not about me. It's about you. It's about helping you. And then the Healthy Habits Kit. This is probably the hardest enrollment ever.
Wow.
I think Natural Solutions and Healthy Habits are really close. I think a lot of people go Healthy Habits. So this is, you want to get in, you're really focused on, you want to swap out your supplements. So you want the multivitamins, the Terrazyme. It's named after, these are the things we should be doing every day.
Sure.
Right? The multivitamins, the PV Assist, Terrazyme, the Deep Relief for discomfort. I don't have the clearance to say for that one. And we're live streaming. Otherwise, I would. Right? That's why I always had to talk with the team. I'm like, so if they get big enough, like if we have 5 people here, we're just going to live stream it in the group. Because then I can, normally I just say all the nitty gritty stuff.
Right.
And I still slip up. No one's laughing yet.
Right.
And then this comes with the On Guard. They switched it over to tangerine, so it's not lemon anymore. They don't do that. Balance, frankincense, and lavender because it's supposed to be, we take 2 drops of frankincense every day. The suggested daily habit is, the frankincense every day, balance on the bottoms, the feet, in the morning and at night to make us feel grounded and calm. And then On Guard for our immune system, the tangerine, usually it's lemon for the cleansing to put in our water every day, and then lavender is the Swiss Army knife.
Oh yeah.
Essential oils.
Yeah, it really is.
Right? You're
That's a
loving
great
it.
way to say it. Yeah.
So my favorite is the Natural Solutions,
Okay.
but there are a lot of people that like this who are like, I don't know if I'm ready to go all in on the oils yet. But a
Right.
lot of times people get this, and then 3 months later they're like, why didn't you get the natural solution kit? I'm like, do you know how hard it was to get you to do the whole thing? And now you love it. I knew you would love it. I said you would love it. But you know what? Because at the end of the day, it's about your needs.
Right.
Because I have one girl who, like, it actually doesn't make sense
Yeah,
for her to do it because she has specific oil needs, right?
Sure.
So that's where if you have specific oil needs that are outside the natural solutions kit, then you don't have it. I still like it. It's still my favorite kit. Still love it. But whatever your needs are, I don't recommend based off of my love. I recommend based off of what people need. Because that doesn't help. I'm also really good at saving money because it counts for parents. You should see my Excel. And then the home essentials, this is the big version of family essentials. So the home essentials kit is for those that are like, I want oils, but they're not ready to do any of the supplements, like the internal health, right? Which I'm like, everybody should be on LLV. I mean, it just makes sense. And I have kids vitamins too that are really awesome. So this is where our top 10 oils come in, and Copaiba replaced frankincense as a top 10 oil.
Really?
But there's really, you still get amazing benefits, with Copaiba. So this is our lemon, lavender, peppermint, Copaiba, Balance, Breathe, Digestant, On Guard, Adaptive, which is our stress blend. Jen has a funny name for it, but kids. And the Deep Blue. And then a nice diffuser. And the pedal diffuser will run 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. I like it. It's nice. It's a good bedroom diffuser.
Yeah.
So this is the really good kit of like, I want oils, but I'm not necessarily ready to do vitamins. Or like, you want to use what you have and switch over. Although but like, you should just throw it in the trash because it's not helping you anyway. Or, donate it to a shelter, at least something. There's some other kits, but I didn't put them on there because they were 20% off. But the other one, I probably should go back. So the family essentials is like this, but in 5 ml format.
Okay.
And there's no Copaiba.
What are those size right there? What size are those?
These are 15.
Okay.
So this is a 15
Okay.
bottle on the table, and then this is a
The 5.
5.
Okay.
So, and also depends on your family, what you need.
Right.
And that's where, too, if you're someone if you are taking LLV, it just makes sense to be on LRP if you're taking the multivitamin, because the LRP, if you have a 50, it's like $50, 50 product value. Right. If your order is that or more, then you qualify for loyalty.
Okay.
When you get the LLV, it's 60.
Okay.
So if you're taking multivitamins you take monthly, it just makes sense. And then you'll get where you're at 10% back, and 15, and 20, to where you get 30% back in points.
Right.
So a lot of times what I do is I'm on loyalty, and I have the LLV in my oils, but then I get all these points, and then I either use my points for personal care products, other supplements, or oils.
Okay.
Because we detox. Well,
Sure.
my dad didn't. We tried.
Right.
We
That's
my mom and I did. My mom and I did. So like the hair, because it really makes sense when you get to it, how you can see how much money that you can save. One,
Right.
the fact that the vitamins save you a lot. If you're going to buy it at a different place, you're trying to get the quality, it saves you a lot of money.
Right.
And you can add things on to the LLV. So the Deep Blue that we talked about. I'm going to stop the video because this isn't important to the video. It's more important to us. Escape. So I'm going to end the live and then we can talk.